Hi everyone. Typically the foundation of even the most technically challenging of Joe Pass's lines is in established voice leading paradigms. These paradigms help to create an innate logic in his lines, and knowledge of them probably aided in the development of his ability to improvise chords, bass, and melody simultaneously. Although numerous examples of Pass's paradigm usage can be heard in his solo recordings, in this video I will look at two texts penned by Pass, his book Joe Pass Chord Solos, and an article about walking bass lines which he wrote for Guitar Player magazine. Throughout Pass's book, in many of the arrangements, the chords are inverted and may even lack a root note. Even when root notes are omitted, however, the remaining notes typically move as per the relevant paradigm. In the following 2-5-1 example from Sunny, the C9 and F6-9 chords are both inverted and lack root notes in their initial positions. As we'll see, however, their notes still resolve in established voice leading patterns. This G minor 7th supertonic is complete and is here arranged with the chord's 3rd on top, followed by its 7th, 5th, then root note. As is typical, the supertonic 7th descends to the 3rd of the C9 dominant chord, while its 5th is repeated to sound the dominant's 9th. Rather than repeating the supertonic's 3rd to sound the dominant's 7th, however, Pass here transfers the B flat to an inner part, while also resolving this B flat by step to A, thereby sounding the dominant's 13th. The dominant's root note, 13th, 3rd and 7th are then played in the second shape before the 9th is transferred to the upper part, where it resolves to the 5th of the tonic F6-9 chord. The dominant's 13th, 3rd and 7th then resolve to the tonic's 9th, 6th and 3rd. Pass prolongs the F major tonic through this bar, initially by sounding it in second inversion, before returning to the initial shape here at the beginning of beat 3. He then creates 8th note movement through a series of thirds, which he uses to move to the initial shape of this B minor 7 flat 5 chord, the supertonic of the tune's following 2-5-1 progression. On the supertonic's initial beat, Pass continues the descent from the previous bar to sound what may be heard as an accented neighbour note to these Fs. As here, it must be remembered that through the creation of melodies, Pass may combine harmony and non-harmony notes within any harmonic interaction, and may also modify or break the rules of voice leading to achieve a melodic contour. For example, we've already seen how here, rather than being repeated as the dominant 7th in the upper part, the G minor 7th 3rd descends to the dominant's 13th and is also transferred to an inner part to then sound the dominant 7th. Here, however, Pass does follow established voice leading patterns as the supertonic's 3rd and 7th move to the dominant 7th and 3rd. The dominant already sounding is then prolonged by this neighbour chord, which is created by upper neighbour notes to the dominant's sharp 9th, 7th and 3rd. The neighbour chord's upper note also creates the climax of this 8th note ascent. The descent is then sounded against the dominant 7th and 3rd, which then resolve as expected to the 3rd and 7th of the subsequent A minor 7th chord. Here Pass includes a low A, against which he prolongs the A minor 7 through this bar before proceeding this G minor 9th chord, the supertonic of the following 2-5-1 progression, with its own dominant and chromatic D flat 9 chord, the notes of which create a semitone connection between the dominant and supertonic. Although this 2-5-1 progression is the same as the first, Pass here uses a tritone substitution for the C dominant, the inclusion of which means that in the lower parts the voice leading from the supertonic to tonic descends completely by step. For example, the supertonic and tritone substitution's 5th resolve to the tonic's 5th. The supertonic and tritone substitution's 3rd resolves to the tonic's 3rd. The supertonic and tritone substitution's 7th resolve to the tonic's root note, and the supertonic's root note moves through the tritone substitution's root note and augmented ninth to resolve on the tonic's ninth. Unlike the previous 2-5-1 progressions, here pass uses all root position chords. Once again, except for the root notes, the upper notes move by step. The supertonic's fifth moves to the dominant's root note and then to the tonic's fifth. The supertonic's third moves to the dominant's 13th and then to the tonic's 9th. The supertonic's seventh moves to the dominant's third and then to the tonic's 7th. And the supertonic's doubled fifth moves up to the dominant's third. To fulfill the required voice leading and create melodies, passers' chord choices typically use only 2 or 3 fingers, so that the fourth finger is free to add notes or to create melodic lines. To play the initial 2-5-1 progression, for example, this G minor 7th chord shape allows pass to create the descent from the upper C using his fourth finger and a partial bar with his second. The initial C9 shape lies comfortably beneath the hand following on from the G minor 7th chord and also fulfills the necessary voice leading, while the second dominant shape allows pass to continue the melody. The initial tonic shape also fulfills required voice leading, while the subsequent shape allows pass to continue the descent and to easily harmonize these notes in thirds. As mentioned earlier, a large majority of the arrangements in Pass's book use inverted chords, often lacking their root notes. An example of arrangements including mainly root position chords is in the Walking Basslines article Pass wrote for Guitar Player magazine. Once again, although now Pass is playing the bass line, chords and melodies simultaneously, his arrangements still essentially follow established voice leading patterns. Here, for example, along with the familiar exchange of thirds and sevenths, the D dominant's fifth and sharp ninth resolve to the root note and flat 13th of the G dominant. All notes also descend by step. Stepwise motion is also used here, with Pass again treating both of these doubled E notes, the fifth of the A7 chord, differently. The lower E resolves to the root note of the subsequent tonic D minor 7th chord, while the upper E moves up to the tonic's third, a move echoed in this ascending line which also supplies the resolution of the dominant 7th. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.